Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 33. And I know I've said this in the beginning, but I'm going to remind you again, make sure you get a protein-strong food at every single meal. And this means you need to pre-plan your food. You need to pre-make those items such as fish and poultry and red meats and maybe hard-boiled eggs. Yes, you have access to things like protein powders and protein bars, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, etc. But you're going to have some of these other things. So it's very, very important that you have these ready to go and on hand multiple times a day. This is going to make a huge difference in your fat loss. Let's get to your questions here, because we got lots of questions. Why is salt important? Why is salt important? Salt is the most abundant electrolyte in the human body. It is responsible for allowing us to move. It's responsible for nerve conduction. Without salt, you would not be able to move. Salt is also responsible for allowing the messaging to take place between cells in the human body. And amongst our trillions, yes, our trillions of cells, there is communication happening between cells God knows how many times per day. So we've got, trillions upon trillions of different communications happening all the time between cells. Sodium is required for this. What if you're trying to reduce salt as per doctor's orders because blood pressure is too high? Okay, so this is a big question. And this is sort of like, I don't know if this is the best analogy, but this is sort of along the same lines as saying, let's say that you are severely overweight. I once had a client that was almost 600 pounds. A very huge man, very tall, 6'6", 6'7". He actually carried it really, really well. But I was always afraid that if I trained him too hard, that he's gonna have a heart attack. So I had to be very, very careful. So someone might say, well, you shouldn't have him exercise because you don't want him to have a heart attack. It's kind of the same analogy. You need the salt. The problem is there's something else. There's something else that's causing your blood pressure to go up. Yes, salt raises your blood pressure. So does exercise. Exercise raises your blood pressure as well. And many other things raise your blood pressure. But it's not those things that are causing it. It's something else. And quite often, it's related to high levels of insulin. So I'd be curious to know what your fasted insulin levels are like. So if you got your blood sugar levels measured and your fasted insulin levels measured, it would be very interesting to know that. And if you could get those down, my assumption is that they're higher. I could be wrong. This is not my field of expertise, obviously, but quite often this is the case. So how can we get your blood pressure down? What are some ways to do this? Well, there's some obvious ways, and I've made a list of about 12 things here. So let's go through these 12 items. Some of them are going to be perhaps obvious to you, but probably some of them will not be. So number one, lower your body fat levels. Okay, this is gonna make a big difference. Number two, exercise regularly. Number three, make sure you get enough potassium in your diet. And of course, you could supplement with this, or you could resort to things like bananas or avocados, spinach, oranges, yogurt. These are all very high in potassium. Reduce your caffeine intake. Okay, you don't have to cut out your caffeine, but reduce it. Avoid stress and engage in activities that are going to help to reduce stress. Eat a high protein diet. Protein is high in arginine, and arginine helps with the dilation of blood vessels. Eat a high fiber diet. Again, protein and fiber are both going to help to better manage sugar. This is in turn going to have some long-term consequences, some long-term, benefits with insulin sensitivity. Consume fish oil. So fish oil lowers blood viscosity and it helps with the elasticity of your blood vessels. So this is going to help to lower your blood pressure. Aged garlic and berberine supplementation. So aged garlic and berberine, both these supplements will help to lower your blood pressure. In fact, I know people that have taken this and it's reduced their blood pressure more than their medication did. Magnesium supplementation as well. Magnesium will help to lower your blood pressure. Berries and dark chocolate, both of these are very high in flavonoids, and flavonoids help with dilation of your blood vessels. If you're gonna have chocolate though, go with a very, very dark chocolate. And lastly, and this is not an exhaustive list, but I will just end here with my 12th point, avoid alcohol, okay? Alcohol increases the amount of calcium that gets built up on our blood vessels and essentially stiffens our blood vessels. Okay, 6 minutes in. I will talk about salt cravings tomorrow. Let's get to the message of the day. On this day 33, if you're going to quit anything, quit being lazy, quit making excuses, and quit waiting for the right time. Well, obviously you're not waiting for the right time. You've committed, you're doing it, but maybe, just maybe, you can apply yourself more. Just maybe, in fact, I know for sure, you can do better in the challenge. And that's not to say that you're not doing well, because we had a lot of great results in the challenge. And I know all of you are trying to some degree or another. So kudos to you for this. But we can also shoot for improvement, right? We can all strive to be better. So try to, every week, just like I ask in your feedback, try to set yourself a benchmark, a specific benchmark for something that you can uphold yourself to, something you can be accountable to, and you can reach and meet for the week. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.